Hey everyone, peace and blessings, Hope everyone's doing well tonight. And let a couple people come in. This is we're telling your followers you started live. So hey to the followers, we're here in Jersey. It's a storm going on right now. So hopefully the storm is going on right now. Hopefully our power don't go out, but we got these right here in case the power do go out, She look like, what? Yes, we're prepared in case the power go out. Yes, we are. So once again, peace and blessings, all praise be to the Most High God, His Son Christ, and Holy Spirit. Thank everyone for joining us tonight. I'm Tazadak, this is Sister Zakai, and we are a Christ lifestyle. I'm a full-time employee, husband of 5, breadwinner of the house, entrepreneur. I do some ministry work within my church. My wife is a full-time housewife, homeschooler of 2 children, stepmom or extra mom of 3. I think that's what they call it nowadays. She has 2 children together, then she got the extra mom, the other 3 children. All right, she's also a writer, and she does ministry within our collective body of church. And so we come on every Tuesday. We're here every Tuesday. You hear me? Every Tuesday. Mark your calendars, right? Every Tuesday we're here at 9:30 p.m. Okay, broadcasting. Every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. To just bring some edification. We're here to help struggling men and women in relationships. To empower them, to help them set goals, to help them accomplish their relationship goals.
Yep.
We're also come on here to prepare singles for their next relationship. So we are relationship coaches. So if you need some assistance, feel free to reach out to us. We can have a free discovery call by clicking the link in our bio. A free discovery call by clicking the link in our bio. You can always join our text community. Yes, please join our text community. And before we get into it, tonight's topic is what submission is and is not, right? So before we even go into a little rundown and get right into it, hit your button. If those of you on Instagram, those of you on Facebook, hit the little button and share it, please. Definitely share it. Tonight's discussion, what submission is and what it is not. So like I was saying before we get into it, when you get the opportunity, join our text community. If you're single, you can text #single. If you're in a relationship, you can text #committed to 908-888-9843. That's 908-888-9843. Also, click the link in our bio. You can get our free discovery call, our guide, 12 no-sitter date night ideas. What's the other one?
8 intentional acts of love. And their amazing benefits.
So you definitely want to get those. I want to get those.
Yeah, that last one's pretty popular.
Which one?
The 8 intentional acts of love.
Yeah, because anyone can get that, whether you got children, no children, or single. Single people I think they getting it so they can get prepared to catch someone. You know what I'm saying? They getting their skills. They gotta catch someone. They gotta scoop somebody up. Like I scooped you up, they gotta scoop somebody up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So thank everyone for joining us. Like I said, we are relationship coaches. We come live every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. to just to get to help people out, with your relationships. And tonight we're going to be discussing what submission is and what submission is not. If you see me looking away, we have notes. We just don't come here. Yeah, we just don't come here unprepared, just writing things like that. We have to have notes.
Yeah.
We put time and energy into what we bring forth every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, 9:30 p.m. So tell a friend to tell a friend that Christ lifestyle is here, right? So let's jump right into it. What submission is and is not. Now, the way this conversation, this topic came about, I was chilling with one of my brothers one day last week, and he was telling me, he's like, yo, I'm really liking what y'all doing, like what you and your wife is doing, on the IG, we see what y'all doing, what y'all about. Y'all trying to just make relationships great great again, bring the fun, the love back into relationships. And but he was like, you know what? You gotta stay away from the word submission. Ooh. I was like, what you talking about? I was like, what you talking about? What you mean? He's like, yeah, you be saying your wife submit, and you the last episode you talking about submit. You gotta stay away from the word submission. Mm-hmm. I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with submission. He's like, yeah, it's something wrong with submission. Like, what you talking about? He's like, man, because submit saying like, your wife can't do nothing and nothing like that. I'm like, nah, it ain't like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like that. And so I was telling him, like, nah, it's just in the biblical term of submission, it's not what you think it is, mm-hmm. right? And the brother I was talking to, he's of the Muslim faith. So I guess within that faith, or in that faith, that religion, mm-hmm. that submission is part of their culture as well. But I guess some of the people go a little bit overboard with it. So he was telling me that, you know what I'm saying? So he's telling me stories of domestic abuse and different things like that. So I was
mm-hmm.
like, well, this ain't what that is right here. I say I know sisters that's submissive and everything like that, and none of them are being abused. Mm-hmm. And I said, my wife for sure ain't getting abused and nothing like that. So it's like, so I said, you know what, that's a good topic. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what, we're going to sit and talk about it, what it is and what it's not, So we understand that by what he was saying, that submission is completely misunderstood. Yeah. Completely misunderstood. Now, he was talking about domestic abuse. Now, domestic abuse, that's going to happen whether you're Christian, Muslim, Israelite, non-believer, Satanist, whatever. So we're going to take religion and just throw religion, your spiritual beliefs out of the window right now, right? Because it's not about that. We focus on submission. So domestic abuse, it happens, and it's terrible. It's terrible what happened. I had an aunt that was abused domestically. Praise be to the Most High God. She survived that. And for my family that may be tuning in, y'all know who I'm talking about. So what people think when they hear submission is what women aren't allowed to talk. Mm-hmm. They're not allowed to voice their opinion. Mm-hmm. Women cannot do for themselves. Right. A husband is a dictator. Mm-hmm. Like, what I say in this house goes. Women, get over there, stand in that corner, and don't do nothing. Mm. That's what people think submission is. Or, that mental abuse, that mental abuse of, oh, you're ugly. You know what? You talk too much. You do this. You do that. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people think when they hear submission of the mental abuse, mm-hmm. they think about the physical abuse where, husbands laying hands on their wives. Mm-hmm. And that's not, I mean, like I said, that happens, but that's not always the case. Right. They think about, that the husband doesn't consider what the woman's thoughts or her feelings or her
mm-hmm.
emotions and things like that. And that's quite the contrary. Because my wife being, submissive, I take it, if you've seen my past episodes that we've done, I take into account everything she's going through. Mm-hmm. I take into account what she's feeling, what she's thinking, what she's going through on the day to day. Mm-hmm. So people think about domestic abuse. Husband not considering the woman's ways. Women aren't allowed to have their own opinion. She has her own opinion. Mm-hmm. We sit down and talk about things. Hey, babe, even like this conversation right here. Babe, what you think about this topic? Right. She was like, hey, that's a great idea. Mm-hmm. So she has her own opinion. If she didn't like it, she would have said, hey, babe, no, that's not it. Right. So she does have her own opinion, which she's able to voice, and I don't get upset. I'm not, women, you better do it this way or anything. No, it's nothing of the sort. So we're going to throw the stereotypes and everything dealing with how the world portrays submission, how mm-hmm. the media has put out submission, right? Mm-hmm. When I say the media, you have different movies where they show the woman being beaten, and it's because she's submissive, she can't say nothing, she can't do nothing. Mm-hmm. So women automatically think when they see this, no, that's not what it is. Mm-hmm. Or the beautiful fool. The beautiful fool. Do y'all know what the beautiful fool is? Do y'all know
Drop a 2 in the comments if you know who the beautiful fool is.
I don't know I don't think they know. Let's see. Do y'all know who the beautiful fool is?
Drop a 2. Who is the beautiful fool? Drop a 2.
What's up, cuz? I got some family over there on Facebook. They over there. What's up, family on Facebook? Family on Instagram. What's the beautiful fool? I'm gonna drop it. Y'all don't know what the beautiful fool is? the woman from Coming to America hopping on one foot, right? If you saw Coming to America, give us some hearts or throw some twos or something like that. If you saw the first Coming to America back in the days, right? Give us some twos if you know who the beautiful fool is. The woman hopping on one foot, right? Hopping on 1 foot for Edinburgh. That's the beautiful fool. Right. So the media portrays is that the women don't have no brains, don't have no say so. This is what submission is. She can't do nothing. She can't say nothing. Everything she does has to be dictated. Listen to her, dictated by her husband. That is a lie. If you saw Coming to America 2, which we saw, right? Was she still hopping? She was still hopping on her foot. She was hopping on her foot about 20-something years later. It was ridiculous. Right?
It was ridiculous. It really
she was hopping on her foot like 20-something years later. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got to throw the misconception of what submission is, right? Yeah. So let's throw that all out the window, right? And we're going to see we're going to go into why people think what people think it is or what is it really, right?
Yeah.
So we know that in certain communities, whether, like I said, no matter, we take religion, throw it out the window, no matter what whatever community you're in, domestic abuse is always going to be a part of it, right? Domestic abuse is always going to be a part of it. And sisters, if you're in a relationship right now, if you're being abused domestically, you know, get some type of help.
Right, there's a difference.
Get some type of help. If you're being abused physically, mentally, get some type of help, right? All right, so what happens is some men see their fathers beating on their wives or beating on, you know, other women, and they fall into that cycle. So the domestic abuse, the cycle continues on. So you have some men that, yes, they have a submissive woman, but they're taking advantage of that woman because they're beating on her or they're tearing her down mentally. You know what I'm saying? They're abusing her mentally, which sometimes by far is worse than physically. You know, so some men follow that suit. And like I said, you know, growing up when I was younger, you get tore up. My cousins or something like that found out you beating on you hit your sister, hit a girl. You was gonna get tore up. You know what I'm saying? So the same way I raise my son right now, my sons, you don't put your hand on no girl. You don't put your hand on a girl. You don't put your hand on a woman, right? So therefore, you know, that's what happened when I was growing up. You know, so nowadays, you know, things have changed. You know, you got some men that want to be women. That's another topic, and they will hit a woman. Yeah, that's another topic. Then you got some men that they're boasted with pride. They get into these positions of, you know what, I'm the head of my household, because we're supposed to be the head of our household, but they get into their head. They've never been a leader, and they let that role go to their head. So now they're full of pride. They pull up with pride, and now they feel like, you know what, I got someone I can control. I can control her. I can manipulate her. I can get her to do these things she don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? So they use that, and they use it and abuse it. So we don't get into all that. So this is what, you know, brothers, you know, when you come into these roles where you are the head of your household, right? You want to stay away from pride, letting you get puffed up and slamming your hand down and darn it, woman, I said, do it like this and you better do it like this. And I said, you know what, you better have that food on the table every day at 5:00. No, you can't deal like that. Right. You know, you can't deal like that, right? So also when we think about you know, domestic abuse and the horror stories, right? And another aspect of it is the feminism movement.
Yeah. So with everything he just said, also, I mean, yeah, with everything he just said, another reason why people think that, you know, submission is, you know, the domestic abuse, the domestic violence, women not having an opinion, not having a voice and things like that. Yes, one, it is because it does happen like he explained, but two, it's also because, you know, the fight for equality, you know, it replaced the original idea or the original structure of family, the original structure of marriage, and the original structure of gender roles, right? So, like, if you think about the feminist movement, that's all it's about, right? Is equality, equality, equality. Well, it was in the 1800s, but now it's more so about women having the rights of men or the positions of men, and even greater than that. And then here's the thing, if you go further behind, it didn't even start with feminism. It did not even start with feminism, y'all.
It started with the Willie Lynch letter.
It started with the Willie Lynch letters, right? So if you go into that letter, and that was written in 1712, right? Well, that address was given in 1712. He specifically, one of his methods, right? And he owned a bunch of slaves, a bunch of slave plantations, and he taught slave masters how to rule their slaves mentally, right? And so one of the things that he put in there was put male against female, right? So that's really where it started, right? And so one of the things that he recommended them do is tear physically, right? Torture the man in front of the woman and in front of the children, so that she sees that he no longer has power and she no longer feels safe under him and she no longer feels secure under him. Right? So what she's going to do is now she's going to put herself in the forefront. And she's going to be the one who does the controlling and the one who does the lead. So that started way before even the feminist movement began.
And the feminist movement just pushed it forward, because even though things happened with the Willie Lynch, if you look at the black and Hispanic family, even after the Willie Lynch, after slavery, right, there was still that family structure. But when feminism came in, it had nothing to do with the black and brown people. It had everything to do with the quote unquote Caucasians. Women wanted their role because of the positions where the positions that their husbands had that they felt like less than. But the black and brown women, they was okay with their role, not working, not working, being taking care of them children, being that helpmate for that husband until and then the feminist movement just took it and ramped it up, and these Caucasian women, said, okay, how can we make this bigger than what it is? We need more women. Now they started targeting the black and the brown, communities.
Right.
To come on board with them, and next thing you know, what happened? Our family started getting destroyed because of this whole feminism movement. So those are things we're gonna, we have to take into account and see like why submission has gotten a bad rep. These are the reasons why submission has gotten a bad rep. Now we're going to go into what submission is. We already discussed what it is not, right?
Yep.
But now we're going to go into what it is. But before we get into the next part of what it is, right? Don't forget, listen, we come on live every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Live every Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. When you get a chance, text us. Send us a text at 908-888-9843. That's 908-888-9843. If you're single, text #single. If you're married, text #committed. Don't forget to click the link in our bio to get our free lead mag. Which is 8 intentional acts of love, 12 no shit of date ideas, and a free discovery call. If you're in a relationship, if you're single, hit us up for a free discovery call, okay? Now we're going to go into what submission is not, right? So, before we even go there, let's go into what the order of the house is, right? We just touched on the feminism movement, how it helped destroy or push forth the Willie Lynch letter or Willie Lynch programming to destroy the family, right? So, 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verses 1 through 3 talks about the order of marriage, which is the Father God, His Son Christ, the husband, and the woman, right? So that's the righteous order of marriage, hands down. That's what it is, right? So when we think about the order of the household and what the order is, you see that man is under Christ. Man is under God. So with that being said, we have to submit to, or we choose to submit. We don't have to, because if we don't submit, there is a punishment, there is a judgment.
Right.
So us that choose to follow Christ, to follow the Most High God, we choose to submit to Him, right? Because we love Him. We want to please Him, right? We want the benefits that comes with following His order, following His direction, following His commandments, following that word, And the Most High God gave us a choice, So me, myself, I've chosen to follow the Most High God, right? And the reason why it's it's so great because the instruction that I get from the Almighty Power.
Mm-hmm.
So he instructs me on what to do, what not to do, and it's because I've submitted to him, right? And I'm also held accountable for everything that I do or don't do.
Even if wrong happens in your house, are you held accountable?
Yes.
If I do something wrong, are you held accountable?
Yes. Because why? Because I'm the head of the household.
Right.
So even when my wife does something wrong, I'm held accountable. It goes back to, Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Eve made the choice to eat off to eat off that tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happened? Adam was punished too.
Mm-hmm.
And if she had been submitted to her head, her lead, which was Adam, she wouldn't have ate.
Right.
Because she wouldn't have been beguiled by the serpent.
Right.
She would have went back to Adam, which is her husband, said, listen, the serpent said this.
Mm-hmm. Should I listen to him?
Should I listen to him? Mm-hmm. And he would have been like, no, God said this, and this is what we're going to do.
Right. Right.
So it goes back into, that's the order, and the woman falls under the man, and even though she falls under us, right? The woman falls under, and she's submitting. What is she? She's a helpmate.
Mm-hmm.
What's that saying? It says, behind every good man, there's a great woman, or something like that.
Behind every strong man.
Behind every strong man, there's a strong woman, right? When you have a helpmate, that's going to benefit you as a man.
Mm-hmm.
So if she can't submit and be your help, you're bumping heads all the time because she thinks she's the head, you think you're the head, and it's going to be always constant going back and forth, arguing, disagreements, different things like that. Because why? They don't have the righteous order within the household.
Right.
And she's not submitting, playing her role.
Right. Right. So now we want to talk about, he explained, those are the bare basics of submission, right? Is the fact that the men are held way more accountable. They're held accountable first. And then after that, the woman is held accountable.
And also that goes back to when you look at the book of Numbers, chapter 30, when it says a woman, like a girl when she's younger, she cannot make a vow, right? She's not supposed to. Let's say she's not supposed to make a vow unless she gets her father's consent.
Right.
And then if she makes a vow before she gets her father's consent, her father he can void it and say, no, you cannot do that.
Right.
Or no, you have my blessings to do that. So in that same chapter, Numbers chapter 30, it goes, once you read further down, it talks about when that girl is now a grown woman, she gets married, now her husband is the head. Mm-hmm. She shouldn't be making certain decisions without his consent or blessings on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if she does, he has every all authority. Like Adam had authority to say, you know what? No, babe, you can't do this, or no, you shouldn't do this, or you know what? This is my take on it. This is what I think you should do.
Yep. Yeah. So thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate all of your comments and interaction. Praise the Most High, not vanity. We see you often here. Welcome back. Thank you so much. And all the family that's on Facebook, thank you for joining us. Thank you.
And while y'all here right now, everyone just hit the button and just share it out real quick. Someone can use it.
Someone else needs it.
Someone can use it. And if you just joined us, we're talking about what submission is and what it is not. The first part, we already went over what it is not, or the stereotypes of submission. Now we're getting into what is submission, right? All right? And if you just joined us, once this is done, you can go back and watch it from the beginning.
Thank you. So submission from my perspective, right? Because he just gave all of the scriptures. He gave it from the man's standpoint. And now it's like, well, she hasn't said much. So what's up with her, right?
And it's not a bad thing, right? It's not a bad thing. And you know what? Sometimes, going back to what you said, right? She hasn't said much, right? She's about to go in. But the whole thing is sometimes when a woman talk too much, they get themselves in trouble. Yeah. When a woman just be doing all the talking, that's why, when you read the scripture, it says the woman, don't go back and forth like a talebearer, murmuring. Yeah. It wasn't direct. Do men talebearer? Yes. Do men murmur? Yes.
But not as much as.
But not as much as well. Some of them do. Some of them be just talking about that. But the point what I'm trying to say is that the scriptures tell us, like, because you know what, that the women, they can use that right there and they just talk. Mm-hmm. And what it is that can destroy a virtuous woman.
Yeah, the tongue.
The tongue.
Yeah.
You know, so submission is not a bad thing. Yeah. In righteousness and in respect.
Yeah. The
world has painted a picture of submission being a terrible thing by the movies that's put out there, mm-hmm. by the what we call it, the Beautiful Fool.
Yep.
You know, so yeah,
the Beautiful Fool.
Go ahead, babe.
Yeah, that movie was crazy. Okay, so submission from my perspective, right? So for me, submission is a blessing, right? And just for like context, when I first even before before I got married, I didn't understand the full concept of what that meant. Right when I got married, I still didn't understand the full concept of what that meant. It took time to understand it. It took time to, see my wrongs. It took time to just find my place in it. And it turned out to be a blessing for me. And I'm going to explain why. Right, so the first reason why, for me, from my perspective, that submission is a blessing is because...
Before you even go there, right? Because you said your perspective. What was it before you thought it was? Just touch on it briefly. Because you're saying before, you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't, it wasn't a formal idea, if that makes sense. It wasn't a formal idea. Like, it wasn't like, it was something that was like being thrown around. Okay. And then at the end of the day, your algorithm matters, right? So, like, if you're around people who are talking about submission, you're going to understand what that is. But if you're not around people who are talking about submission, you're not going to understand what that is. Right? So, like, once I started getting around people that were talking about it more, that's when I, understood it. And, once I was in, I was like, okay, well, now I'm understanding it, right? But with kinks and stuff like that, But, yeah, it wasn't, a formal idea.
Okay.
So, the first thing, and this is my biggest thing, right? And I'll explain kind of the backstory of this as well. I like to be led. I want to be led. I don't want to lead, right? So when I think about growing up, right? And I think I shared this a couple lives ago. Very simple, very quick, right? When my father was home, right? Because my father worked a lot, right? So he was a teacher. Well, he is a teacher. And he had a lot of side hustles, right? And so when my father wasn't home, sometimes we would get home late. He was fixing computers, whatever he was doing, right? So when he would get home late, throughout that time until he got home, I felt it was just me, my mother, and my brother. So I felt like I had to protect the house, right? Because it's just me, my mom, and my brother, when my brother's younger than me. So I always felt like I had to protect the house, right? But when my father came home, I was good. I was chill. I was like, all right, I can go to my room. I can go, hang out, whatever.
You brought a sense of
do
protection.
My own thing. Exactly. When he came in the house, I felt protection. I felt like this house is under control now. I can just go worry about myself. I ain't got to worry about everybody else. Right? So that's my part about being led and not having to lead, right? Not having to stand in the front, not having to be that front line. My father isn't the front line. He's home and I could just fall back like I'm originally supposed to do. Right. So that's one thing. Another reason as a woman, and just to add to that, as a woman, I want security. I want to feel safe. Right. And so I want security and I want to feel safe. Right. And so that's one of the blessings of being a submissive wife is I'm submitting to his decisions, right? I'm submitting to his order. I'm submitting to his ideas. I'm submitting to his thoughts. I'm submitting to his opinions. I can just let him lead and I feel safe and I feel secure.
And even though you're doing all submission, you still have input. You still listen. It's not like you just stand off. It's like whatever you say I'm going to do is, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely not. So the next part of that is, and this is I guess it's a female thing. I don't know. It's me personally. I'll talk about myself. I need direction. I need to be tamed and I need correction. Those three things, right? 3 things: direction, to be tamed, and correction. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I was raised in a feminist society And I was raised to be independent, and I was raised to do for myself. Thank you so much. I was raised to do for myself. I was raised to just think for myself and do everything, just like on my own, right? And with that comes, you become very opinionated, and you got to stick up for yourself. And you have to, and in this modern world, everyone's opinion is out there. Right? Nobody knows how to tame their opinions, right? Everyone is extremely over opinionated about everything. And so as women, right, our tongue is like our default problem. So with us being so opinionated and always having something to say, right, we don't know how to tame that. We don't know how to tame our tongue. We don't know when to be quiet. We don't know how to hold our opinion. And it becomes very, very hard, right? And so with that, you do need a man to tell you, you over talking. You need to be a little more quiet. You need to calm your opinion down. We don't need to go that far right now, right? Let's focus on what's going on right here, right now, right? As well as women, we are emotional creatures. And so what that comes with is worry. That comes with a lot of worry, right? And then when you become a mother, oh boy, forget about it. Like your worry is on level 200. Like you thought you were just a wife. It was like on 100, right? Let's start with single. You were single and it was at 50. Then you got married, it got to like 100. Then you had children. No, like the worry is out of control, right? And so like, it's a blessing because he can logically bring me to a place where it's like, let's logically look at the situation and bring, just calm you down a little bit, right? Let's look at this logically. And it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, right? And that leads me to...
Before you even go to correction as well, you know, she did a post the other day, like when she posted on our page the other day that sisters, they want to pray for a man that can do this, do that, and do this. But what she said was sisters need to be praying for a man that's going to correct you as well when you're wrong.
Yes.
Because how good is this man if he bringing you flowers and doing everything you want him to do?
Yes.
But the correction that you need for your spiritual salvation and for you to have that balance, you're going to need a man to correct you. So therefore, being able to lead, to be able to correct her, and then a woman being able to submit and say, you know what, I am wrong.
Yeah.
I do need correction in the area. Or you know what, I do need to go apologize to this person. What I said or what I did was wrong.
And I can only say that from experience, right? Like I was that one that my tongue was fighting.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad. Like she wasn't
for the people.
Nah, she wasn't cursing. She wasn't cursing.
No,
she wasn't.
Nothing like that.
When you say that, people gonna be thinking like you was gossiping.
No, I was just very opinionated.
Yeah, she was very opinionated.
With no tame of the tongue. So.
Until she got with the right man, which is me, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you are. So therefore, when she got the right person, she wanted to submit, going back to what I said earlier, that, I do the order of the household is God, Christ, and the husband and the wife, and then the children. So I'm bringing it up because I wanted to submit, and I wanted to submit to please Christ and to please God. And she wanted to do the same with me. She wanted to say, you know what, I want to submit so I can please him. When someone says cover the faults, blessings, brother, blessings,
brother.
Double
the honors, cover the faults.
But yeah, so that's what it's about. Like her, wanting to please and submit to me, So people have to throw that whole submission thing out of, the negative thought of it out of the window. And hopefully by tonight's, this little live, that it takes some of that negative and throw it out the window and give you some positive points about submission.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. All right. So two other reasons that for me submission is a blessing, before we go into the next part, is I want to be who I am biologically. Right. And so what I mean when I say that is biologically, I'm a female, I'm a woman. Right. And that means that I'm a nurturer. It also means that I want security. It means that I want to be dependent. It means that I'm emotional. And it also means that I want to be feminine. Right. And those are all my biological traits. And so with that, brings me to my second point, which is I need a balance. Right. So with all of those like feminine things and female things, I need a balance with that, right? And that balance is him, that masculine and that logical and that what makes sense, right? So those are reasons why submission, those are all reasons why submission is in fact, is really a blessing versus, you know, what we see all over the place and what people say it is. Yeah. So now let's talk about what submission looks like in our relationship, because I'm pretty sure by now people are wondering, well, what does that look like within y'all? So before we do that, we're going to give you kind of like a little bit, he explained a little bit about what we do, but we're going to go more in depth. You want to tell him like what you do? I'll tell you all the hats he wears. So he's a father. He's a father of five. He's a father of 5.
Like, yeah, only 5.
Right, we gotta count sometimes over and over again. Yeah, he's a father. He is a breadwinner. He's the entrepreneur.
I do ministry work within my church. She's a homeschool mom, stay-at-home mom. She does ministry work within our church. She's also a writer, and together we are a Christ lifestyle relationship coaches. If you're single, you know, and need some direction in your relationship, feel free to hit us up. If you're in a relationship and you're having some struggles, or you want to go to the next level in your relationship, hit us up. You know, click the link in the bio, hop on a free discovery call. Don't cost you nothing to hop on a phone call, and let's talk and see what can we do to assist you, you know, to help you go to the next level in your relationship, or singles, to help you prepare for that next relationship. You know, so feel free to click the link in our bio for a free discovery call.
Yes, thank y'all for watching also.
And we all, and some of you that's been following us for a while, we still have our merchandise. So you can click the link in our bio to still get, you know, our merchandise, whether it's shirts, hats, any type of apparel or anything like that.
Yeah.
And don't forget, subscribe to our text community. 908-888-9843. That's 908-888-9843. If you're single, text #single. If you're married, text #committed. And for those of you that join our text community, we're going to be doing some giveaways. The only way to get those giveaways is you got to be part of that text community.
Make sure you put the hashtag for the #committed and the hashtag for the #single. But, all right, so what does it look like in our relationship? So the first thing that we want to talk about is when we make decisions, right? So realistically, right, with all of the things that we just explained that we do and that we are and things like that, we have a lot of decisions to make. And so... Yeah,
one of my brothers at church, he did some research. He said we have like over like 3,000 decisions within one day or something like that.
Yeah, it's true.
Just imagine. I think it was more. I think it might have said a minute. No, it wasn't a minute. Yeah. It was some type of time frame. You said something like that.
Yeah. When I was teaching, it's like you make about 10, like I think it's like 5,000 decisions a day.
Yeah. So with that being said, you know, their decisions they gotta be made. You know. So
So yeah. So when it's time to make decisions, it's one of two things. Let's put those in. I'll call that number. Text. You want to text. You want to text either text #committed or #single. That's for everyone.
And what's the text number? Someone just asked.
908-888-9843.
What's the number again?
908-888-9843. Text either #committed if you're in a relationship or #single if you are single and you want that single content or you want that relationship committed content. All right. So
boom.
So we have a lot of decisions to make, right? And so it's one of two things that happens, okay? With one way that decisions go is either we sit down, we talk about it, and we, you know, work it out, lay out all the details and say, okay, like, you know, well, what do you think? Well, what do you think? And, you know, and things like that. So we sit at the table and discuss it and then come to a consensus.
And when we come to a consensus, right, it's mutual understanding, but at the end of the day, it's my decision.
Right.
At the end of the day, it's my decision. Because like we said before, whatever happens within the household, whatever happens with her, it's going to fall on me. It's always going to fall on the man, right? So that's one way. Another way is I just make decisions.
Yep.
Sometimes I don't consult with her. A lot of times I don't. Some sounds good, or I remember I process it logically, I process it emotionally, I process it spiritually. And you know what? Hey, this is a good idea. Boom. jump straight to the point, and then I let her know, hey, this is what I did, and she's like, oh, okay, wow, that was a great idea. And sometimes she's like, babe, that wasn't such a good idea. I said, well, hey, I made a decision, too late now. We can do to see what the repercussions are going to be.
Yep, and then he's the type of person that once you make a decision, and even if it flopped, he's like, well, we're not sticking here. We about to move forward. What's next?
We about to move forward. So even so I don't.
You don't sit on that too long.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, if I flop or fail, I got a lot of F's in school, so failure to me is like, you know what? If I fail, I'm back up there and say, you know what? If I fail, hey, that was a great effort. Let me go again. Let me try something else. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So I don't sit on it. So even with it was one thing yesterday. One of our videos that we posted on YouTube yesterday.
Why you gotta be so specific?
I gotta be so specific. It was a video I posted on YouTube. Feel free to watch it if you want to. There's a video. One of our videos I posted on YouTube yesterday, right? So I posted it. When she came home, she's like, "What is this? What is this message right here?" I said, "That's the YouTube video." Why did you put this? What's going on? I said, because that's what I want to do. She's like, can you just take it down? I don't like how you worded it. No, I'm not taking it down. That's my decision.
Yes.
But I think I get what you think, but no, this is the decision I'm sticking to. And it went on like that, and it was like, finally she's like, okay, well, you know what? You ain't gonna take it down. It is what it is, and go check the video. Everything is still there. It's our most recent video on YouTube. It's at a Christ Lifestyle.
Yep.
On YouTube.
So, aside from that, so what else it looks like? So the other thing is, and I've learned this the hard way, y'all. I learned this the hard way. I didn't do that before. Now, I don't make decisions without his opinion or his blessing.
And tell him why.
Because, well, one, I'm not supposed to, right? The scripture says, like, I can't make a vow without speaking to my husband because I'm now married, right?
That's in the book of Numbers, chapter 30.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe in Christ, read the whole book from Genesis to Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
We subscribe to the whole book.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And then the other thing is, just from experience, I have done things outside of receiving his blessing, and it has failed. So, hey!
She got a random hey, okay?
My best friend.
Hey, best friend. Hey, and everyone stay on. We want to hear y'all thoughts afterwards.
Yeah, we would.
So we want to read y'all comments. If y'all got some questions, everyone stay on and hit the share button. Go ahead, babe.
Yeah. So I have definitely done that plenty of times where I made decisions without his opinion, without his blessing. And now I'm just at the point where, like, if it comes time for me to make a decision and he doesn't say yes or no, I'm like, babe, like what I asked you about earlier. Babe, it's been 3 days, and I'm bugging him and bugging him and bugging him until he gives me his blessing. So once he gives me,
give her my blessing or say no, depend on what it is. Like,
whatever it is. Yeah.
So basically, when she's saying she's asking, maybe somewhere I say, what, I'm gonna think about it, and I haven't gotten back.
And you take days.
And I take days. Sometimes I do take days to think about it.
I can't take it, y'all. I really can't. But sometimes he takes days to think about things.
And one situation was when she wanted to start the ministry in church. She teaches youth classes, right? Mm-hmm. I think ages 13 and up. She teaches the teen classes. When she wanted to do it, I said, great idea, but let me think about it. And we had, I had to think about it. It took me some days to think about it because she already had. It
was like a week or two.
It was maybe like a week or two. But I had to process certain things. I had to think, you know what I'm saying? Because once she's committed to something, I give her a blessing. If it's gonna work, it's gonna work. But if she gets committed to it and it don't work and it flop, then again it falls right back on me. You know what I'm saying? So I had to take time to think. She laid out everything for me. I had to think about it, pray about it, to finally, what? Okay, let's go ahead and do it. And how can I assist you with it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that goes to me submitting to her. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all, it works both ways. Mm-hmm. So therefore, when I say I submitted to her, it's like, you know what? She's something she wanted to do. It took me, like she said, a week to 2 weeks for me to process, really work it out in my mind and how I was going to work it. And once I said it's a go, it's good, how can I help you with it? And she's like, babe, you can help me by helping me put together the lessons. Mm-hmm. We gotta leave out early Sabbath morning to go to class. Mm-hmm. So we need your help to help get the household together so we can leave and be there early and everything like that. So, you know, that's how it works out, you know.
And then one reason too, I think he knows, but I'm not sure. But one reason too why I like to get his blessing, and not just his opinion, but his actual blessing, is because this man right here exudes wisdom, y'all. Okay? He has so much wisdom. Like, you know, when it comes to making decisions, I'm like shining him up right now. But like he does. And he shows me that, right, in his decisions and things like that. And I trust him so much, and I trust his judgment, that like now, like I would rather hold that decision to be made than to, you know, wait. And if it takes him 2 weeks, I'll wait the 2 weeks, you know. Sometimes I get a little bit anxious depending on the size of the decision. Whatever. So, but yeah, because it's like he has so much wisdom and he has so much experience, and I'm just like, I'm waiting on him to say, yes, it's a go. I'm waiting for him to consider all of the things that need to be considered, you know, things that I didn't consider, right? So yeah.
And when she talks about and we're not talking about like just random grocery store stuff and things like that.
No.
She's not calling me like, you know, I need to do this, that. No, none of those little random things like that, you know. But certain things where she has to, you know, commit to. You know, she definitely wants to, you know, she definitely reaches out to me and lets me know, even if it's something, and some of her single friends may not even understand. They may say, you know, well, let's go out to dinner on this one particular day. And she may say, you know what, okay, it sounds good. It sounds like a great idea. But let me get to my husband to make sure, let me get back to my husband. And the reason why she's doing that is because, one, she don't know if I already made plans for that particular day for us, right? Or she don't know if I already made plans for me to do something, on that day. And, you know, it's out of respect of, you know, following the scriptures. Like, she can't make a vow, you know, or shouldn't be making a vow unless she gets her husband's consent. So it's, you know, all that stuff, plays a part into, you know, when she's making these decisions and things like that, you know?
Yep. And another thing that you would see in our relationship when it comes to submission is, because I know his intentions, and because I trust him so much, and because I know where his heart is, my desire is to please him. That's it. Like, my desire is to make him happy, to please him. And it's not like he asked me to. It's not like he made me, or there's no like level of control. Like, it has nothing to do with that. It's because like I know where his heart is, and I love him so much that I want to please him versus disappoint him. Right? So like one example of that is like, you know, when he gives me a task, right? And he's like, I need you to get this done. Can you get this done? Yeah, I'll get it done. No problem. Right? And his big thing is time. Like, this one right here is big on time, not wasting time. Right? So when he gives me a task to do, or I take up a task, I want to make sure that I get it done, and I get it done completely without getting distracted, because I want to please him, not because he's going to get upset or like whatever, you know, crazy imaginative stuff people think of when they think of submission. No, it's more so like, I really want to make him happy, and I really want to please him, and I want to hear him say, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate what you did, you know, things like that. So, and that's part of being a woman as well, is wanting to feel appreciated. So when he says that to me, and you don't know that, but when he says that to me, it fills me up. It gives me everything I need, you know? So that's that. And then the last part is, you know, being a help me is a very important job. It's an important job. Helping a man, raising his children, being there to help him raise the children outside the marriage, or, you know, what would be considered the stepchildren, right? That's a job in itself, right? Making sure that dinner's cooked, making sure the house is clean. That's a whole job, right? So like, people who undermine the idea of a stay-at-home mom or a housewife need to reconsider what that really is, because it's a whole job, right? And it's something that we chose to do. It's not something that, oh, someone just shoved us in a room and said, you got to clean the house. You got to do all this. This is everything I want you to do. No, it was by choice, right? And there's a lot of power in that choice. There's a lot of power in the choice of submission, right? So that's that.
And also with submissions, like she's like she said, she wants to please me. There's certain things she does, certain things she do, and I'm like, no, I didn't need you to do that. And it's not that I didn't need it done. It's like I didn't want her to do that, because like she said, she really wants to please me. So there's certain things she do. It's just like she just goes out her way at times just to please me, and it's not like me demanding nothing, commanding dictatorship, anything like that, or me threatening to put hands or anything like that. It's just that she, like she said, she generally really wants to please me. So if that's the case, you know, that's what submission is, and it's a great power. And by her submitting to me, it shows me how much she loves me. I mean, our wedding, right? I mean, people that went to our wedding, I listen. When the scripture said when Christ, before he was crucified, he washed the disciples' feet. People don't know, at our wedding, June 19, 2015, right? June 19, 2016. June 19, 2016. She washed my feet. I was shocked, and I think I teared up. She submitted at that. Till this day, like sometimes she's like, I just want to wash your feet. I just want to do this for you. And it's like, it's just the love that she shows just from submitting. And what it is that it would be wrong for me to take advantage of that.
Right.
Or to manipulate her into, manipulate her. Because some people out there, they get a submissive woman and they want to take full control. They want to do it dirty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, wash that corner. That corner over there. You just wash that corner right there to that little one spot gone. Which is wrong. So we don't subscribe to any of that. You know.
Don't condone it.
Don't condone it at all.
Yeah. So
right now, we're going to be ending this broadcast soon. If you have some questions or comments, you can start putting it in. But if you just joined us, we discuss what submission is and what it is not. Definitely, if you just joined us, you joined in the middle of it. Once this is done, go back and watch the full thing. Let's throw the misconception and the misunderstood part of submission. Let's throw it out the window and take in what submission really is, from the biblical standpoint of what submission is, from the understanding of a submissive wife,
right?
What it is and how she said it's power.
Yep.
It's power. It's love. It's wanting to please. That's awesome right there. And from a man's point of view, what brothers should not be doing, when they have that role of being the head of the house, or when they have a woman, under their authorship. I said that right. Authority.
Or leadership.
A leadership. Sometimes us black people, we just make up words. I tell you what.
Okay. So the point of us doing the broadcast, like he was saying, is really just to wash off the idea of submission, the dirt that's on the idea of submission, and bring clarity to that. All right.
And someone asked us, before we go,
thank you for joining us.
It says, do we have classes available? As of now, we don't have no classes, but feel free. Yeah, stay tuned. Subscribe to our text message community. And right now you can book a free discovery call with us, and we can talk it up to see how can we assist you. Free discovery calls, and stay tuned for classes.
Yep. Click the link in our bio. And if you are single, you would just click discovery call for singles. If you are married, click discovery call for couples. All right. So that is all we have for this broadcast. If you have any more questions or comments, drop them in the comment section below. Other than that, yes, join our text community where you will receive content weekly from us. All right. The number is 908-888-9843. Text either #committed if you're in a relationship, or #single if you are single. All right.
All right. We have someone. Our YouTube. Someone's asking on Facebook. Our YouTube is A Christ Lifestyle. That's A Christ Lifestyle. You click the link in the bio. You will see in the link. Yep. Yeah. In the link in the bio, you'll actually have the link for our YouTube. Yeah, and go check out that video that I posted yesterday. She didn't like the title of it. She's still sitting here like, oh,
that's a whole nother part of it, y'all. Like, being entrepreneurs, a couple in entrepreneurship, like, that's a whole nother level of like relationship and submission. Yeah, that's like a whole nother thing.
Yeah. Someone put it says, thank you, brother and sister. This person said the two greatest points they took from it is when I said sometimes you have to submit to the rib to help out, meaning submit to the wife to help out. And when the sister said, when you said she just loves to hear him say,
yeah, thank you. Good job.
Let's see if he tends to waver. Let's see what we got over here. Anyone see anything over there?
Not yet, no. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below now. We're looking them through now. While he's doing that, you can also go on the link in our bio, the very popular 8 Intentional Acts of Love and their amazing benefits. Feel free to download that. You can also download if you are a couple with children, married with children, and you need a date night, but you don't have a sitter. Okay, that is often our situation. You can have a date night that requires no sitter, and these are all original ideas. You can go on the link in our bio and download that. And that's it.
We'll see you next Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. Set your reminders. Tuesday, 9:30 p.m.
And if you have any other, go ahead.
And Sister Mama Papaya, I believe that's how you pronounce it. Just send us a DM.
Yep, DM us. Yep.
And what was you going to say?
That was it.
That was it?
That's what I was going to say. All right.
Peace and blessings from a Christ lifestyle. Hope you have a good week. We out.